R70 goes down here. It's a monster of an aeroplane. If you weren't here early today, we'll just sort of go back over one to the head behind the boat. It's a sketch of the flight.
Actually, I can see her out to the left. She's been brought forward because we've had a little gap in the programme. She is arriving, so if you look well to your left, you will see the People's Aeroplane. This aeroplane is truly historic. She represents the very best imaginative thinking out of the box virtues of British aeronautical design and engineering. Virtues that in some ways don't exist anymore, because we don't build many whole aircraft in Britain these days.
Obviously they can.
This aeroplane, in all her fantastic life, grace and power, is a unique piece of flying history. You should enjoy her, appreciate her and remember her, because once this aeroplane stops displaying, we'll never see her like again. In fact, when the Royal Air Force VC-10 aircraft retire, this will be the only four-jet, all-British aeroplane still flying. So here she is, the wonderful Airshow Vulcan XH558. That's what you call a close-up view of a fantastic aircraft. You can almost step on board. It's almost a gliding ride, and you go about 25 knots in the field, doesn't it? Well, she comes by quite quietly. We shall hear the noise later. But we were talking earlier, the shape that was to become that extraordinary aeroplane was first drawn on a scruffy piece of paper in 1946 by the man who designed the fantastic Lancaster bomber, Roy Chadwick, who died in 47 an aircraft he never saw his brilliant design fly, nor did you see it become the first successful operational delta-wing aircraft in the world. But the extraordinary thing is, this was only 11 years after the Lancaster that this flew, but they look as if they might have come from different centuries. So here she is, enjoy her as she comes by. That's because she's so big. She's actually going quite fast. Something not 250 miles an hour maybe. And she's not as big as you might think. She's about the same size as a small Airbus airliner. In fact, swap the wingspan and length over, it's almost exactly the size of an Airbus A380, but of course it's shape. And she's got half as much power again, and she's an awful lot faster. Well, we're about to get into the moment. Look back on there. That's the space they used to carry the British nuclear deterrent, the British hydrogen bomb, and then later on the space that carried 21 of 1,000 pound bombs all the way down to in 1982, in the longest bombing raid in history at the time. And those bombs were dropped on the runway at Port Stanley, two of them. These were only dumb bombs, the kind of things that they had in the Second World War. They're not smart bombs like we have nowadays. So to get two aircraft off the runway out of a stick of 21 was pretty good, and it did what was required. It put the runway out of use. And that bombing raid was as far from here to Santiago in Chile. And it took a whole host of refueling tankers to get this one aircraft down there and back. You can see the bomb doors closing as she comes past this time. There are three crew on board, two pilots, the man flying her today, the captain is Ken Rubens, who flew Vulcans for a while, but was more at that point, 16,400 pounds of static thrust from each of the four engines. Ken Rubens, who became one of the first pilots And sitting in the right hand seat, Martin with us, the man who's basically very Martin with us, and the third man. Airborne art, aeronautical art, something quite difficult to describe. Let me just say that the crewman was Barry Baker, who was also on some of the Black Buck race down to the Portsmouth Islands. The thing about this aircraft is, she's not paid for by the government, she doesn't belong to anyone else. And that special sound you heard, tell your grandchildren, you heard Vulcan sound. Now the wheels coming down, and of course she's not going to land here, but she is going to do a low overview as if she were landing. So look out for that. She'll go with her wheels down as if she were going to land, and then pour all the power on and climb away to the bar. When she leaves, she's going to join up in formation with one of the Blades aircraft, formation team, and on board that Blades aircraft will be John Sargent of the BBC, because they're making a series in October called Britain's Heritage for BBC One.
Just look at her smile, it just makes you smile to see her.
Everybody's help. It costs £2 million a year to run this aircraft. That's more than £38,000 every week we have to raise. If you want to do your part to that, please do think of getting your mobile phone out and texting the word Vulcan, VULCAN, to 82055. Text Vulcan to 82055.